Dre, the guy was grabbing my arm like this.
Before
and I
he
was like,
grabbed your you're making shit.
wait, I'm not done.
But then the nigga gon' ask me, can I talk to your nigga?
That's when I started chasing behind you.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dondre Randolph. If you're new here, click like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just gonna address like why I've been gone and stuff, and just everything that's been going on, just like with work, school, relationships, and
We can save the best for last, the relationship. But you know, we're having kind of like a mukbang, right? Look.
oh yeah, so we went to Happy Crab. I don't know if y'all been to Happy Crab in Missouri City, but this fire. We got Happy Crab, seafood boils.
We have some snow crabs, some corn, some broccoli, some crawfish, shrimp, potatoes.
I got snow crab, headless shrimp, potatoes, and corn.
And it's all going because he's been eating it off camera.
Yeah, I've been eating my shit off camera. I guess the first thing I can talk about is like life in general with school. Now I'm back. I'm trying to get back to YouTube because life been lifing, and I just felt like I was stressed out with just like work. I hate my job at this point. I don't hate my job, but I just don't like commuting to go to my job. Like I feel like I commute 3 hours Monday through Friday.
3 hours now. You commute 1 hour there, 1 hour back. That's not 3 hours. That's like 10 hours a week. So you commute 3 hours a day. So 15 hours a week.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big ass chunk of my time that I don't like, and it's starting to get on my nerves. Especially if I got to be there at 7 a.m. and then they don't be wanting me to leave till like 5 or 6. It's just like, no, I don't want to do that. And then on top of that, I have to go to school. I'm in my MBA program at Lamar University, and that is stressful because it's like a accelerated program. So it's like I'm basically working like double the classwork, and then some of my professors be assholes because they be like trying to not make it easy for some odd reason, and it's an online class, so it's like, why are you trying to make it difficult? Then the last part of the shit that why I've been gone is me and Chris been like,
I'm not why you've been going.
Me and Chris have been in some like relationship weird struggles and shit, and it just throws me off every time I wanna. It throws me off every time I wanna film because I be trying to like do relationship content and shit, and he'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." And
it's
then,
not about me not wanting to do it. I just feel like,
and then
you don't need me to, you know.
But it's like
he's amazing at this.
But it's like if I want to do relationship content with my boyfriend, like why would my boyfriend not want to do relationship content?
It's not about not wanting to do relationship content. We were talking about, or Dre was talking about coming back to YouTube, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we should do this type of video." And I'm like, "Well, since you've been gone for so long, why don't you do a video by yourself, kind of reintroduce, you know, like what you've been up to, whatever, and then you can just like plug me in later." That's what I was thinking. But then that turned into a whole miscommunication, and then that turned into,
I mean, that's a small piece of the problem, but it's not really.
So what are the bigger pieces of the problem? Because I'm sure they want to know.
They don't want to know, but I can get to it to tell them.
They want to know. People are nosy.
The bigger piece of the problem is we in some weird ass toxic ass cycle.
We're not in a toxic cycle.
Yes,
we're just both dumb sometimes.
No. It's just a weird toxic cycle of like, ooh, I'm gonna do this, you're gonna do that, or I'm gonna show you, I don't know, like.
So boom, story time. Okay, so the most recent thing that has happened actually, I'm gonna start from the beginning of our relationship. We both tend to entertain people when we probably shouldn't. And when I say entertain, so for Dre doesn't block people. When I say block people or like stop talking, like exes and people from his past, like he'll kind of still keep up communication. And he was doing that before we even got into our relationship earlier, like in the year February, right? So I went through his phone one day and I saw that he was still entertaining people, right? This was last year around this time, actually. I met Dre in 2022. We started dating around 2020. We started dating again in 2023 because I had blocked him and stuff because I felt like he was playing a lot of games. Yeah. And so we started talking again in 2023. And so fast forward to being probably like 2 or 3 months into like the talking stage or talking exclusively, I found out that he was talking to other guys, right? And when I say talking, just like texting, keeping up communication. But at that point, we had already said to each other, okay, like we're gonna exclusively date. Like I was over his house like all the time at this point. And so from that point on, when I saw him still texting other people, in my mind, I set it up to where it's like, okay, I kind of see that he's like playing games already. So since he's playing games, like I now know how to move forward. But he called me also texting like somebody that I used to talk
That's
to.
why I was like,
yeah, no, I'm gonna get to it. He also found me
well,
text.
let's speed it up.
You know how to edit, so he also caught me talking to somebody. And so fast forward to today, we're just like in this toxic cycle of just like, what is it? It's just like us, like I do something and then he does something and then we'll like reconvene and we'll be good for a certain amount of time, and then he'll do something and then in retaliation I'll want to do something or do something, and then it's just like this like toxic cycle of us just trying to like get back at one another, you know? And so the most recent thing that has happened is he went to Costa Rica for a weekend with his best friend, and I was here in like Houston still. So like when Dre's not here, I tend to like go out like with friends, right? Because my weekends are usually spent with Dre. Like I like to be with my boyfriend or under him all the time. So when he's gone, it's my opportunity to just like do stuff. So I went out to this like gay like Friendsgiving like event at the address. If you're in Houston, you know the address. And it was fun as fuck. But I started after the club, I was like drunk or whatever, and so I went and I talked to a guy that I've been intimate with or used to like entertain literally like years and years and years ago, probably like 5 years ago. But the corny ass guy pulls out his phone. I guess he was excited to talk to me. I mean, I'm something to be excited about, so I kind of get it. Like, you know, Chris Bennett, like, oh shit, big deal, right? Like, damn, he's talking to me. Wow. So he pulls out his camera and he starts filming around. And so I'm drunk, so I'm not really catching what he's doing. But he puts the camera on me. And I like gracefully like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I kind of like dip out. But mind you, Dre follows him. He follows Dre. So Dre saw this when he was in Costa Rica. And so in the past, Dre has had an ex that has cheated on him when he was
First of all,
wait, I'm not done.
But first of all, you was laughing and kicking in the damn store.
But I laughed. I'm like, I think
it wasn't like he was like, "Oh, what is you doing? You corny." The nigga was in his face talking to the nigga. So I'm like, Chris is weird because why the fuck would he even be on this nigga's story?
Dre, I can say that you're weird for texting your exes, please. That's weird to me.
But I was texting my exes because we wasn't in a relationship.
Dre, me talking to somebody that's not even an ex, somebody that I was intimate with 5 years ago, out in public in front of everybody is not a big deal to me. Saying hi and bye.
He was not saying hi and bye. Why do you keep saying that?
Or having a conversation with somebody I used to talk to is not the same as texting them. And Dre literally texted one of his exes, y'all. He was in Costa Rica when this happened, right? He was on another trip the month before for his best friend's birthday. He literally texted one of his exes that he would buy him a plane ticket if he came there and got in bed naked with him. So me talking to somebody in a public forum,
but I did that.
That's disgusting.
Tell them why I did that.
Why did you do that? I don't know. Exactly. You see? That's what I'm talking about. God don't like ugly.
No,
he's not too fun or pretty, sir.
Chris be doing dumbass bullshit. Like,
well, I do dumb stuff, but
and I just be like, okay. And so, I just don't even be knowing what to say at that point because it's like this nigga be lying about the dumbest shit, and it's like, why are you sitting up here lying like you don't text and talk to niggas?
I don't. The only person who's ever
he don't, but he was just in the naked face that he was texting and talking to.
That's out in public, though, Dre. You've hugged your exes and you've talked to them out in public as well.
Not in your face.
That was an issue.
Not in your face, and
I didn't do it in your face. You saw it on camera. You saw if he wasn't so corny, you would have never seen it. To be honest,
and that's a good thing.
It's not good, but I'm saying like you've done this stuff and I just haven't seen it.
Okay. But you're saying it's not bad.
But I know that you won't take it farther than that. Or I would hope not.
What are you talking about?
Like, I know that you just being out in public and like talking to people and y'all are in a club setting, hugging somebody, talking to somebody, having a brief conversation out in public is not a big deal to me. Texting and doing all that stuff behind somebody's back is a big deal to me. Y'all, everything that I've done to Dre that was not good, I've done in front of his face. I've never done stuff behind his back, tried to hide. I don't hide things from anybody. I give people a choice.
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't
choose if you want to stay with
you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Why? It doesn't matter about you doing it in front of my face. If you love and with somebody, you shouldn't be doing it in front of their face or behind their back. Period.
Okay, so fast forward. So that incident happened. He comes back into Houston, and I've like cleaned up the house for him. I folded all these towels and all this laundry. You know, trying to just like make it comfy for him when he gets back because I know he has work the next day. He got back on a Sunday evening. Why does he walk in trying to break up with me?
Because you're weird. That's weird. Especially if I
Trey,
told
you're
you.
weird as we're both weird. You're weird too. You text people to come in lay in
Especially if
bed
I
with you
told
in
him.
Costa Rica.
Especially if I told him prior to like what happened with my ex and me and my being in my house and
Tell
him
them about
inviting
your
me.
ex and stuff so they can have like some context to it, like why you would be so upset
So
about
I was
that.
so upset about that because my ex that I had used to stay and live in my house with me, and I used to travel for work. So he would stay here, and while he was staying here, he would have he was having like another nigga come through and sneak in. And
Ew, that's gross. I would never.
mind you, this the same nigga that he didn't fuck with, the same nigga that my ex didn't fuck with. It's just like
Wait, who?
you. Then to see Chris do that, and I told Chris about that already. So to see him doing that while I'm in a whole nother country, and this nigga be having like access to my house and shit, I'm just like, you're weird as fuck.
But he has a ring. Wait, mind you, back then he didn't have a ring camera when his ex was doing all that stuff. He has a ring camera now. Who am I for about to bring over here like that?
It doesn't matter.
I wouldn't do that to you.
I don't know what you would do. You would be doing. You do a whole bunch of shit that I wouldn't think you would do. So,
You do a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't think you would do either.
like what? Besides text people, like that.
That's crazy, Dre.
That's not crazy.
And then mind you, he's the guy that he's texting to come and hang out with him.
Chris be like, oh, I don't text and talk to nobody.
I don't. I'm a saint.
Mind you, niggas calling his phone. His phone is always on silent. I'm like, why's your phone never ringing?
I always keep my phone on silent though.
That's a red
your
flag.
phone is on silent.
Yeah, because your shit on silent.
My stuff is never on do not disturb though. My stuff is just on silent. Nobody wants to hear all that clicking when they're texting and my phone constantly ringing and buzzing. I'm in group messages.
This
and stuff.
nigga phone.
Weird.
This nigga phone has never made a sound since I've been dating him.
It should not. Your phone has never made a sound.
My phone. Yes, it has.
No, and he has his text notifications off. So when he's receiving text messages, y'all, they don't pop up like on his screen. Why? My text messages, everything. I have always on display. You could walk by my phone. You'll see 10 notifications. You could swipe through. I never see messages come up on his phone at all. For why?
Anyway,
so it doesn't distract you. Bye.
Anyways, my thing is, if there's any other long-term relationships, people in long-term relationships or people who's been in relationships that got any advice on just how to keep continuing to like rebuild and grow and like get out of this like weird ass cycle.
And we want gay advice. We don't want straight advice. I want gay advice because I think that world is completely different.
I'll take straight advice. Okay. But anyways, if y'all got good advice, like leave good advice in the comments.
God keeps choking you the fuck out. Tell him about. I told him the other story. Tell him about what happened with the movie theater and stuff. Like how we had this whole conversation. You were just saying how like you were over like your job, you're over your friends, like you're just over the relationship and everything. He follows me to his house because I wanted to pack all of my stuff up, and then we end up literally getting in bed and having sex. And then I'm like, hey, so are you broken up? And he's like, I mean, I never even said we were broken up. You just.
Anyways, he takes me back to my car, and I'm just sitting there like I literally have like a mental breakdown talking about son. I don't think I could do this shit no more. Like I'm like, I don't know if it's you, I don't know if it's my friends, I don't know if my job. Like I'm just stressed the fuck out of everything combined together, and I'm like, I don't even know how we even got to this point in the relationship. And it's like, I with you, I love you, but at the same time, it's like, is this even healthy? Because
it's not healthy.
Okay, so my thing is, what the fuck is we doing? Why is we still stuck in this weird?
Well, I told you that. I said that I love you as well, and that if you wanted to, end it, that I understand. That I would still be here for you, and I still love you and everything, and we could be like good friends. Yeah, but I want my relationship as well, though.
It's giving very much mixed signals because
it's not mixed signals.
He says all this and go and do some dumb shit. We was at the neighborhood. This nigga was at the bar. We was both at the bar getting drinks. A nigga grabs Chris and was like, oh, let me talk to you. Chris is just standing there smiling in his face. So Chris bought his drinks and I'm just sitting there waiting for him to get done talking to Chris. And Chris is like, I'm like, okay, Chris, let's go. Like, first of all, why are you talking to that nigga that long? And second of all, why are you entertaining him like that? It didn't make sense to me, so I'm like, all right, Chris, let's go. Like, you doing too much. And then the nigga gonna grab Chris and ask Chris, like, nah, like, let me continue to talk to you. And then he gonna look at me, Chris standing there looking dumb as with his drink while this nigga saying all this, like he's dumbfounded, like a fucking damsel in distress. The nigga gonna look at me talking about something.
That's not how that happened.
No, Chris said, oh, I got a boyfriend. I can't talk to you.
Thank you.
Whoa.
But I said that in the beginning.
He said that in the beginning, but still was sitting there talking to the nigga.
I wasn't talking to him.
You was standing there listening to him. That's the same.
Can I tell my side of the story?
Wait, let me finish. So I'm like, Chris, let's go. Chris tries to walk away. He pulls Chris and was like, nah, let me talk to you. He was like, I have a boyfriend. And Chris is just looking at me, looking back at him. Was like, I got a boyfriend. He's right there. And I'm just sitting there like, the Then the nigga gonna ask me, can I talk to your nigga real quick? Like, can I just get 5 more minutes
That
with
was
your
extremely
nigga?
disrespectful.
I said, what the? I said, yes, sir. Like, yes, go ahead. You
Why
can
would
get.
my boyfriend tell somebody they
I
can talk
said,
to
you
me?
can get 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. I was like, yes, go right ahead. He's right there. I literally walk out. I barely get out the door. And Chris is right there. Dre, why did you leave? How the when I leave, you can get away from the nigga, but you can't get away from the nigga when we're standing right there. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, so that story did not happen like that.
Okay, so how did it happen?
First of all, the guy was extremely drunk and very aggressive. He comes up to the bar as I'm signing the check for our drinks.
Okay.
And then he asks, hey, like, can I talk to you for a second? And I'm like, yeah. Or actually, no, he didn't say, can I talk to you? He was like, hey, what's up? I was like, hey, how are you? Like, whatever. We were talking normally. And then he was like, he grabbed me like this, y'all, super aggressive. He grabbed me. He's like, let me talk to you for a second. And that's when I said, I was like, oh, no, I have a boyfriend. My boyfriend is right. Because we've had
Chris
issues like this at the bar.
Chris is lying. The nigga did not grab that nigga initially before Chris said I have a boyfriend. Chris,
Y'all,
Chris was talking to him, and then Chris brought up, oh, I have a boyfriend while they were talking. And the nigga did not give a fuck because Chris was being flirtatious in conversation with him. That's why he felt comfortable enough to grab Chris and be like, nah, let me talk to you. So let's be for real. Continue your story.
I didn't interrupt you when you were talking. So the guy grabs me aggressively, and I'm like, oh no, like my boyfriend is right there. Like I have a boyfriend. Dre is just staring, and I'm like, okay. Honestly, y'all, I was waiting for my boyfriend to step in and be like, hey.
But why would I step in? I'm the type of person that's like, I'm gonna put it on 100, basically.
For what?
Because if you know your boyfriend is short-tempered, why in the would you put me in
I
that
didn't
position?
put you in that situation. I got walked over to me.
You're saying you didn't put me in that position, but you literally stood there talking to the nigga when you could have walked off with me.
Dre, the guy was grabbing my arm like this.
Before
and
he
I was
grabbed
like,
your arm.
And then when he grabbed my arm, I was
Before
like, oh,
he
my
grabbed
boyfriend
your-
was right
before he
there to
grabbed
try
your
to
arm.
let him know, like, okay, like, you might want to let my
Before
arm
he grabbed
go.
your
Like,
arm, though, you could have been left.
that's true. Maybe I was just trying to be nice. I don't know. And then he was drunk and aggressive. I was trying to, like, low-key kind of like, oh,
And
yeah,
then the
like,
nigga
blah, blah,
go-
blah. Like, let me sign my check and get away. And then he grabs my
And
arm
that's
saying he
not
wants
okay.
to talk to me.
And that's not okay that you stood there.
Yeah,
and
but
let
if
that
somebody's
happen.
physically, like,
But
and you're
if
right
you know-
there, and I'm telling
but
you, like,
if you
I have
know-
a boyfriend. You're standing there like this. I'm like, okay, like, do I have a
What
boyfriend?
else
I don't
supposed to
know.
do? If you see
Hey,
somebody
bro.
drunk and aggressive, you should be like, I got a boyfriend, I need to go.
Not if they're holding on to my arm. They're
He was
about
not
to punch
holding
me
your
in the face.
arm. Why the f- would I fight and go to jail again multiple times? Another time because somebody else. I've learned my lesson. That's why I wasn't saying. I'm like, you know what?
But you also don't leave me in
I
a
ain't finna get
situation
into
and walk
another.
away.
I ain't finna get into another situation with a nigga
You're
over
wrong.
a nigga. I'm confused about why the f- Chris would even put me in a position to be getting arrested.
I
in the
can't put
neighborhood.
you in anything that I wasn't a part of. He walked up to me and he grabbed my arm. I was signing a check. I was next to you signing a check for a drink.
In the comments, please. In the comments, please let us know who tripping. Is it me or is it Chris? In the comments, please.
And notice who's the loudest in the room.
I don't because I'm loud because I'm passionate about it because I feel like my nigga shouldn't be putting me in weird ass positions like that.
I'm not putting you in a weird position, Dre. If somebody's trying to talk to me at a bar or a club or somebody's aggressively grabbing my arm and stuff, if anything, I'm hoping that my boyfriend would help me get out of the situation.
You're grown enough to walk away and you're a nigga. You're a nigga just like I'm a nigga. You grown enough to walk away from a situation. Why the fuck do I need to come over there and get into it with another nigga when all you gotta do is
Because you're
walk
my
away?
support system.
You
You're
see-
my boyfriend. At that point, I might as well just be
Okay,
single
so
in
if
the
that's
club.
the case, why when I walked off and said, oh yeah, you can get 10 minutes with Chris?
Because he let me go. That's why.
Why would he let you go and I said he could talk to you?
I don't know. The boy let me go though, and then that's when I started chasing behind you.
Whose opinion makes more sense? Like, whose opinion makes more sense? Because to me, if we're both grown and we both know how to get the fuck away
And do
from-
you
if
all-
a nigga was grabbing me that I did not want to talk to, I will be gone. I'm not going to sit there and let a nigga grab me and force me to talk to them. Bitch, get the fuck away from me. You will get
He
cussed
didn't
the
force me to talk to him or anything. He wasn't.
So, exactly. So, why are you standing there talking to him? If you
No,
didn't
nobody
force
could force. No, Dre. I was being.
If he didn't force Chris,
I was
why
being
is
a
Chris
nice-
standing there
no,
talking
no,
to
I was
him?
being a nice person, saying like, okay, yeah, like how.
Your logic and what you're doing in a relationship doesn't make sense.
Because y'all, when I'm a nice person, like when I'm out, I'm hugging people, I'm talking, I'm conversational,
You're
and
a
all
nice
that
person.
stuff. Yes.
Now I see why they'd be like, oh, I don't want no nice ass nigga.
Well, yeah. His rebuttal to me doing that in a club is him going out with this random guy to taking him to Chili's, first of all. And who still goes to Chili's anyways? The fact that he would even accept, I guess, I don't know what y'all on a date or whatever to Chili's is like crazy. So he takes his boy to Chili's and I'm seeing this. What's not wrong with Chili's? So I'm literally like at the Galleria, which is a mall here in Houston, with my cousin. We're just like shopping, whatever. And I'm like, oh, Dre's at Chili's. So he'll usually go to Chili's with like his friend Camry sometimes. I've seen him at Chili's maybe once or twice, but like I just don't know Dre to go to Chili's. So immediately in the pit of my stomach, I'm like, something's like a little off. And so Dre stays there for about 2 or 3 hours, and this is a weekday. I'm like, why would Dre be at Chili's for 2 and 3 hours? So mind you, so he comes home, and then Dre left his work phone at Chili's. I have his work phone location, and I'm like, his phone is like at home, like his like regular cell phone, and then his work phone's at Chili's. I go to Chili's, pick up his phone, and I was not trying to come here. But still in the back of my head, I'm like, what's really going on? So I use the phone, the work phone, as an excuse to come here. Mind you, I tried to use the keypad on the little outside the door. It wasn't working because he had turned it off. So I'm knocking on the door, and he eventually comes, and I'm like, Dre, you left like your work phone, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what's going on? He comes to the door with his shirt off and with like these shorts on, like these little like sweat shorts. And he's like, oh, you can't come in, I have company. My boyfriend is telling me I can't come into his house because he has company. What kind of company do you have? So of course,
the same company he had at the bar, by his logic. The same company he had, he wouldn't leave. The nigga wouldn't leave my house. He grabbed me forcefully.
Let me finish my story. So I barge in. I force myself entry into my boyfriend's house, and I like walk to the bedroom, and then I see this guy standing up, all nervous, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And he's what? I don't even know like what happened. He's like, "Oh, and blah blah blah." Mind you, I'm never gonna get mad at the guy or the other guy. I'm always mad at him. I'm never mad at anybody else outside of our relationship because I know it's him. And so the guy just starts literally like divulging like how they met. He starts like divulging everything. He was actually a really nice guy. And he was telling me how him and Dre had went to Chili's and they had been drinking. He made it a point to tell me they hadn't had sex or anything, but they were laying in bed together like watching a movie. Why is somebody that is in a relationship laying in bed with somebody that's interested in dating or that who he has talked to in the past? Because I found out that they had been talking like in the past before our relationship happened. Why would anybody be laying up in the bed watching a movie with somebody that they possibly could be intimate with? Like, why? That's so weird to me. And Dre's like, oh, you can't tell me who I can invite to my house, blah, blah, blah. Does that sound like somebody that's in a relationship? What do you mean? I can't tell you who you can invite over to your house, but I think just having somebody in your bed is... And then, you know what the guy told me? The guy told me that he had been sitting on the couch watching TV and Dre invited him into the bedroom, lay on the bed with him to watch the movie.
This was after...
And the guy, it's after what, it's a guy talking to me at a bar?
Yeah.
That doesn't...
It was disrespectful. And I told Chris after that, I was like, you can't judge somebody's level of disrespect. Like, if you're just going to disrespect the relationship, then we're just going to disrespect the relationship. Because I'm the type of person that's like, you can do you, I'm going to let you do you, but I'm going to get my get back. We've been rambling about this. This is basically...
This is our relationship.
This ain't the relationship, but this
it's a piece of it.
This is literally why I've been like gone trying to like handle and deal with this like this. And it's like, it comes to a point that's where like, should I keep the relationship or should I stay in the relationship?
No, should I stay in the relationship?
Should he stay in the relationship?
Yeah.
Should he keep the relationship? Should he get rid of me? Like, vice versa. Like, it's not about, I'm not specifically talking about me, but I'm just saying in general on both sides. This is just the that I've been going through on top of work, on top of school, on top of like trying to have a social life, on top of trying to work out, on top of trying to get haircuts and look.
But that's just life in general. Like, you're making it sound like everything that you're going through is like only a you thing. That's just life.
I'm referencing being in an unhealthy relationship on top of life. That's why life was life, and then I had to take a break from YouTube, and I kind of like slacked on like my passions and stuff that I was like actually like used as a creative outlet. It's not as bad as y'all think. Like, it sounds bad.
No, yeah, it's not.
It's really not that bad. It's just a lot of...
I honestly think we have... people are going to be like, oh, what? I feel like we have a good relationship outside of just us being dumb. We're both Libras, so I feel like just off bat, we're both very like social people, and I don't think we mean harm by it. That's the thing.
All in all, this sounds ridiculous.
It sounds ridiculous. But I still love you, though.
Oh, I still love you, too.
Can I kiss?
No.
What? You're so...
If you're new here, don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe.
Give it all to me, girl, it is my pleasure. She wanna be with me, cause I get it wetter. Ain't nothing like her ex-boo, girl, I do it better. I give you some brain, but you must call me the professor.